Um, Networking.
It was great, actually. They asked like all the right questions, and they were really chill, and it was quite laid back.
Cool.
It was really comfortable, and I hope I gave them some good advice on how to get into the industry and stuff, because it can be really difficult if you're not an established artist or something like that. And I think it's really about who you know and networking and stuff, and really putting yourself in the situations that like where you're going to meet new people and you're going to make an impact with your personality, being professional. Talked a lot about that.
Are always like on the lookout. Like it's their job to find new like presenters and stuff like that. So
I am from a really small town in the interior of Canada, like in the mountains. And there, I feel like people from Nelson, we just have a really open mind towards like all kinds of music. And there's lots of really good festivals there. The club nights are wicked. There's always loads of international DJs coming through the town. I mean, it's small. There's like 10,000 people there. But
there's a bit of a scene.
The clubbing vibe there, in the festival. There's a really good festival there called Shambhala, and loads of DJs from the UK go. And it's magical. It's a magical festival. It's really cool. But so that's kind of how I discovered UK dance music. Was just kind of living there and just being exposed to it all the time. My friend had a pair of decks, and I was just kind of practicing, and like, you know, when you're bored, you're a kid. And just kind of picked it up, and then I moved to Vancouver, which was the big city on the west coast of Canada, and took the decks with me and continued DJing, and started getting gigs all over the city. So once I moved there, and so I guess that's kind of how my DJing career started. I was working at the Vancouver Film School, and it was right across the street from one of the best record shops in the town. And so I spent a lot of time in there, and I just made friends with like the local DJs there. Like there was this DJ Dabbler who worked in there, and we made friends right away because we were both into the same kind of drum and bass. And so he was taking me to lots of club nights, and at the time I was underage, but like we were always able to get me in. And the running night was automatic, and it was at the Lotus, and it's like one of the longest drum and bass nights in Canada. I mean, I don't think it's running anymore, but they still do one-off events. But it was just really cool to be able to see so many, like, I mean, there were far more international DJs coming through Vancouver than there was Nelson. And I think that's just like really, I made lots of friends in the scene there, and then just started kind of networking and meeting lots of people, and there was lots of nights going on in Vancouver. So started getting bookings around there, started doing bookings in Whistler, which is about an hour and a half drive up the mountain, ski mountain.
Pretty vibrant place as well, right?
Yes.
Whistler,
and Whistler's got lots and lots of international kids that go there, like lots of people from Australia, lots of people from the UK that go there for the snowboarding season. And so that's kind of how I started, I think, to get a following in the UK and in Australia. I began opening nights for like the international DJs, and I met DJ SS from Formation Records, and he invited me to go on the World Drum and Bass Tour to be like the opening DJ for some of their US dates and a few dates in Europe, and that was the first time I ever came to the UK.
Right.
And that was just like such a cool opportunity. Like I'd never ever traveled before. I didn't even have a passport before I started DJing. And then from there, I was on the World Drum and Bass Tour, and that's how I met Shy FX. He was on the American side of the tour. And we were just talking about music. At the time, I was fooling around in Fruity Loops and Reason and a bit of Cubase, kind of like wrapping my head around Cubase because it was a far more complex program. And I played him my stuff, and as embarrassing as it was, he was like, yeah, okay. But I kind of told him my whole philosophy of it, and at the time I was getting into different genres and stuff, because then I was strictly like drum and bass and jungle, but I've always loved other styles of music. Like I first started DJing, I was playing Speed Garage or Speed Garage.
Still got a love of bass though.
Yes, of course, like just like UK bass music, I think, any kind. When I was having these like conversations with Shy about what I wanted to do as an artist and how I really wanted to, like, I don't know, just become a producer more than like just making these tracks in my house. I wanted to become like a producer more than anything, make my own music that I could DJ out. And Shy was, he had just started Digital Soundboy, at the time and was kind of looking for more artists to build to the camp, and then asked me to be a part of it in September of that year. I think that was in like 2007. And so he signed me to Digital Soundboy. And,
an amazing label to get signed.
Amazing, like so incredible actually. When he first started Digital Soundboy, I was like, that is the best label. Because I was still in Vancouver at the time, it was quite difficult for me to kind of like progress there, because I moved to Logic at the time and had a really difficult sort of experience just finishing tracks, because there was no one there that I could get feedback from. I was sending stuff to Shy, but he was quite long at getting back to me, and I would get really frustrated if I get stumped in Logic. I really had to kind of give up everything in Vancouver. Like I was in a pretty serious relationship, had a dog, and a house, and a I don't know, picture life. Picture perfect life.
You had your life there.
Yeah. It was very comforting, comfort zone, and I decided that if I was going to make it in this industry, I needed to pretty much start over again, completely, and so I decided to move to London. And really just kind of throw myself into the middle of the UK dance music scene.
But you had a bit of I guess you had some grounding here in
yes,
South
with Digital Soundboy. So I did have sort of a family here, which was really good and really helpful, because I literally didn't know anyone when I moved over.
And those guys are the people to know.
Yeah, they helped me a lot, kind of get on my feet, and I just was spending like every day in the studio. Like as soon as I got here, it was like every day, 7 days a week, because I wasn't doing any gigs. I didn't have a following here. No one knew who I was, like pretty much starting at the bottom of the food chain again. But yeah, I feel like, and that went on for like a few years until Fever was being played on radio and stuff. And I'd actually written Fever the first few months that I moved here, but never like got around to finishing it until September of last year, like maybe even before that. I started playing it at the few festivals that we were doing with the Digital Soundboy sound system, because it was an instrumental forever, and I was playing it in my sets, but it didn't really get that much of a reaction. And then in July I had Elizabeth. I met Elizabeth Troy through Shy, and was like, I would be totally honored to have her like just sing on the track.
It sets it off, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we work so well together. Like she's amazing. Like she's still like a really, really good friend of mine. I think we'll make lots of music together. Like, she's so cool. She's helped me so much, and just like giving me advice on the music industry, because she's a legend herself. It's always kind of been in the back of my mind that I could do radio. I mean, I'd never done it before. I'd done like a few shows on Rinse FM, but never was actually presenting or speaking on radio.
Yeah, doing guest mixes, right?
Yeah, totally. Guest mix is easy. Like, no like speaking involved. But I think I'd done 2 shows with the new DJs, and then they offered me my own show on Sunday nights, which is crazy. Like, I mean, you don't say no to the BBC, right?
Yeah. Betrayed on BBC Radio 1.
I use Ableton for my Sunday night show. So I mix everything so that it's beat matched nicely when it goes out live. And working with Johnny was really, really helpful. I'd never used Ableton before. And it was very, very, like the way he explained it was incredible. Like to wrap my brain around it, it was so easy. And so the way we approached it was making like a mixtape in Ableton. So he didn't really show me too much on the production side, and I don't think I would use Ableton for production because I'm quite fluent in Logic now. But for making mixtapes, it's just made my life so much easier as far as preparing for the radio and stuff like that. Yeah, it was great. He was great.
Cool.
Super cool. I still talk to him all the time. He's got like excellent taste in music.
Yeah, he does.
He showed me some really good tracks.
Creating a little track idea at the moment, a little mid-tempo thing for the summer, 115 BPM. And I wanted to get this human organic feel inspired by the likes of John Talabot. Now, Ableton Live have got a great instrument that you can get from their website at the moment called the Skidoo Stones.
The best advice I can give you is to it's just like really be yourself and really stand for like what you believe in, like stick with it. And like for me, I think what's special about my shows is that I really feel passionately about the music, and like it's all music that I would play in my live set. It's all music that I myself can really groove to, can dance to. Yeah, music that I really like, that I feel passionate about, and I think that's really important, because sometimes, I mean, with the BBC, they let me have full reign over what I play, which is really cool. It's really it's a great opportunity for me.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes, like if you start following trends and stuff like that, just to kind of do something, it can be quite transparent. Follow your heart. Be yourself.
Excellent advice.
That's totally cheesy. But, yeah,
It's true though.
It's true.
At Point Blank Online, you've got two methods of interaction with your tutor. Firstly, you've got the weekly online masterclass, which is in real time. And then also we've got feedback on your assignments, and that's known as DVR. So the online masterclass is a 1-hour session you get with your tutor every week. You can ask questions about lesson content and get instant feedback, and also demonstrations on the fly from their computer desktop with our streaming technology. DVR stands for Direct Video Response, and the concept is really simple. You upload your Ableton Logic or Cubase project file to your tutor, he downloads it and then pushes record on the screen capturing software and evaluates your work, so basically giving you one-to-one feedback. You see all of the mouse movements and any parameter changes made by your tutor. It's kind of like sitting in the studio over their shoulder watching what they're doing whilst they work. We've found the DVR process has truly revolutionized the way that we teach online, and the results speak for themselves. Book your place on the course now by visiting pointblankonline.net.